It is Wednesday, July the 23rd, and I've got some rabbit holes for you, darling. You let me know what you think. Alrighty, my friends, it's a rabbit hole day. I'm throwing rabbit holes at you. There were a couple things I heard that I was like, you know what? That's starting to make sense. Now we're cooking with gas. So you know what? I'm going to put it out there to you. You let me know what you think. Here's what I think. All right. So first of all, I heard someone say that they believe Stinky Pants didn't think he was anywhere in there. And I was like, that makes a little sense, right? Otherwise, why campaign on being the only one who can expose it? They built a movement on exposing this because he was the only one who was outside of all these rings of dirty, swampy government officials, and he was the one that was going to expose them all, and it was going to be him. Why run on that if you know you're all up and through it? Unless you didn't think you were up and through it. That also ties into side rabbit hole number 2, which is Stinky just on it, or is he it? Meaning, were they partners? I've heard people say, like, were they boyfriends? I don't know. I know they shared girlfriends. And I mean, that's always an interesting thing when super alphas want to share women. It sounds like they're just one step away from each other. You know what I'm saying? But we'll leave that for another day. No judgment. Okay, I'm just saying the judgment lies with people who act like they're not like that and then want to go against people who live their honest lives when all they got to do is come on out and say what's really going on. But anyway, did you see, side note, I'm sorry, the video of Ivanka's childhood bedroom where she's like taking a crew through? For someone who is supposed to be a millionaire, billionaire with entire rooms that are coated in gold. Why was this girl's bedroom? First of all, her standing in there. She looked like she wanted to get out of there, like she couldn't wait to get out of there, like she was going to need to get out of there and go have a drink to suppress whatever memories came back. It was creepy. But it's like this little closet of a room. With like a massive window, nowhere to escape, and just this tiny little space. All that money and way high up, of course, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, tiny little closet of a room. I'm just saying. Okay, anyway, darling, back to the original rabbit holes. So here's the thing. Someone put it out there and said, what if the E-Man, not the star one, but the one that's no longer with us, the one that Miss Maxwell is probably going to join in the not too distant future. What if he always told his buddy, his partner, maybe even his boss, that of course he wasn't in there? Dude, of course I'm not recording you. We're in this together, right? Just like that little note said, we're in this together. We share secrets. What do you do when you already have everything? Ha 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 ha. Very let them eat cake, isn't it? Except for in a creepier fashion. Point is, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. If they were in this together and they were such good buddies and partners and all of that, sharing girlfriends, sharing experiences, going after these women and not quite women together, you know what I'm saying? I'm using words, stay on top of it, y'all. You know what's going on. That, right? If he honestly thought, like, he would arrest him, because, again, narcissist. They have to bite the hands that feed them. They have to bite the people that support them. They have to go after their partners. They have to. It is a required part of it. The same way he turned on his own cult, okay? Can you imagine? Here's this person, the one person who can definitely testify and go against all of his I plead the fifth testimony and spill the beans on his involvement. So during his term, his friend gets, all right, and we go up, he did it to himself, and now a few years later we're going, he did it to himself for no reason, he was totally innocent, and he did it to himself, because that's where we are, and he thought that was it, he meaning Stinky Pants thought that was it. He would take him out and release the files and be the hero, right? And there would be no one credible that could combat this storyline, all right? Now here comes the wrench. They get all the information, and whoopsie daisies, looks like Bestie wasn't honest. Looked like Bestie did record him just like everyone else, and that is not what he was expecting. And all of a sudden it went from we're the only ones who can release it to actually it would ruin lives. Actually, it doesn't exist. Actually, it's a hoax. Actually, someone else wrote it. Actually, I told the FBI and the DOJ to hand comb it for all mentions of my name. Actually, okay, you see what I'm saying? You like that starts to make sense now, right? He didn't think he was in there, and he found out too late that he's all up and through there. His friend lied to him too. He kept his insurance policy, the same insurance policy that Stinky Pants is probably using, all right, to keep a handful of people in check. The same people who keep voting to not talk about this and keep sweeping it under rugs. And yes, for the folks who are going to hop in and going, what about the Democrats? Them too. Whoever's on there. We're not in the cult. We want everyone on there. And we know who, we know. Red, blue, a lot of passes, all of them. Okay, call them out. Yes, ruin their lives. This thing where we protect the lives of the worst people. Hey, let's give them another chance. Let's now ruin these men's lives for the horrible things they're doing. We need to let that go. We are right here. We have evolutionarily gone backwards because of this patriarchy thing where the least deserving men procreate the most. Okay, the most aggressive, the lowest in intelligence, the least talented are the ones producing the most children and then telling those children they're superior by default. Yuck. Okay, that's how, if it was done the natural way with women selecting the best men and the best choices and the best examples of masculinity through the female gaze, we would be in a completely different world. But instead, the cavemen have you bopped over the head and they're trying to do it again. That's why they're telling you that these groups are on the rise and women are being denied care if they're not married, and they're doing whatever they can to shove you back in the kitchen and keep you barefoot and pregnant, because all those lies, they spent decades telling women that it's hard out there. You don't want to work. You want an easy life in the house with the kids. That's easy. You want that. That's for you. That's soft and for you. I'm going to go out there and work hard and make money. And we went and we caught up to and surpassed them in what? Barely 40 years? In one generation, we caught up and surpassed them in terms of the amount of work and higher education, et cetera, et cetera. All that shit about how it was too hard for us. We're out there showing them up and suddenly it's, wait, actually, no, you belong pregnant in the kitchen. You're whole, you need to be beautiful and you need to want a husband and you need a man. They're trying to take it back. There's a loneliness epidemic, but it's not loneliness. Again, it's the ones that nature is not selecting. The ones with nothing to offer the future are the ones that are feeling lonely. So if we're all about nature here and what's natural, let the ones that nature are not selecting go ahead and move along without procreating. That's nature's way. Suddenly they don't like nature anymore when it comes to defining them as the loser ones who shouldn't be procreating. But anyway, darling, I do believe that the deeper we get into this and the harder they fight this and the more bricks they throw, Obama, Hillary Clinton, Biden, let's talk about Biden's health. Let's talk about Hunter Biden's laptop. Let's talk about Hillary Clinton's emails. We're going to charge Obama with treason. We're going to, all of that, all the greatest hits, as people have said, all the greatest hits makes you think that, what did I say before? The hair club for men, right? He's not just the number one customer. He's not just a satisfied customer. He's the owner, president, and CEO. You know what I'm saying? Those beauty pageants. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting information coming out about the Mar that is Lago. A lot of photos, a lot of videos, a lot of articles, a lot of testimony. Victims are coming forward. It's just all spilling out after, part of it's Maxwell, and then part of it is, I don't know who gave Murdoch, if it was Muskie, probably Muskie, Teal, Vance in his pants, because yes, I'll mention it again. He did have that secret meeting, and even Stinky Pants is starting to wonder if Vance in his pants is working against him. I mean, when he's not on vacation, right? When he's not on vacation. I don't know, y'all. Okay, but that is my rabbit hole. I think he could be the ringleader. And I think he didn't believe he was in there until he saw it. And now he's like, oh, shit. I got to pull myself out of there so I can deliver. I don't know. It makes sense, right? That's a rabbit hole. Rabbit hole. What do you think?